This is part 2 of an interview with Fountain Hughes, who was born into slavery and emancipated as a child. His story was recorded by the Library of Congress under the Slave Narratives Project. Keep in mind that Fountain Hughes was a child at the time that he was enslaved, and he's recalling those memories at the age of 101 years old.
My name is Fountain Hughes. It's what they call, we were slaves. We belonged to people. They sell us like they sell horses and cows and hogs and all like that. Have an auction bench and they put you up on the bench and bid on you, the same as bidding on cattle, you know.
Was that in Charlotte that you were a slave? Was that in Charlotte or Charlottesville?
That is in Charlottesville.
Charlottesville, Virginia.
Sell the women. Sell them in. Oh, and then if they had any bad ones, they'd sell them to the nigger traders, what they call the nigger traders, and they'd ship them down south and sell them down south. But otherwise, if you were a good person, they wouldn't sell you. But if you were bad and mean, they didn't want to beat you and knock you around, they'd sell you to the what they call the nigger traders. They'd have a regular. I was sale every month, you know, at the courthouse. And then they'd sell you maybe $200, $100, $500.
Were you ever sold from one person to another? Were you ever sold?
No, I never was sold.
You always stayed with the same person?
I was too young to sell.
Oh, I see.
See, I wasn't old enough during the war to sell, during the army. And my father got killed in the army, you know, so it left us small children just to live on whatever people choose to give us. I was bound out for $1 a month, and my mother used to collect the money. Children couldn't spend money when I come along. In fact, when I come along, young men couldn't spend no money until they was 21 years old. And then you're 21, well then you could spend your money. But if you wasn't 21, you couldn't spend no money. I couldn't spend 10 cents if somebody gave it to me. Because they just think, well, he might have stole it. Now, after we got free, then they turned us out like cattle. We didn't have nowhere to go. And we didn't have nobody to boss us. And we didn't know nothing. And there wasn't no school. And when they started a little school, well, people that were slaves, many of them go to school, except they had a father and a mother. And my father was dead, and my mother was living, but she had 3, 4 other little children. She had to put them all to work to help take care of the others. So we had what you call worse than dogs have got it now. The dogs have got it now better than we had it when we come along. I remember one night I was out after I was free and I didn't have nowhere to go. I didn't have nowhere to sleep. I didn't know what to do. My brother and I was together. So we knew a man that had a livery stable there. And we crept in that yard and got in one of the hacks like an automobile and slept in that hack all night long. So next morning, we could get out and go where we belonged. But we were afraid to go at night because we didn't know where to go and didn't know what time to go. But we had got away from there and we were afraid to go back. So we kept slept in that thing all night until the next morning, and we got back where we belonged before the people got up. As soon as day commenced to come break, we got out and commenced to go where we belonged. But we never done that but the one time. After that, we always, if it was away, we'd try to get back before night come. But that was on a Sunday too, that we done that. Now, when we were slaves, we couldn't do that, see? And after we got free, we didn't know nothing to do. And my mother, she hunted places and bound us out for $1 a month. And we stayed there maybe a couple of years. And she'd come over and collect the money every month. And $1 was worth more then than $10 is now. And the men used to work for $10 a month, $120 a year, used to hire that way. But we didn't have no property, we didn't have no home, we had nowhere, nothing, we didn't have nothing on it, just like your cattle, we were just turned out and get along the best you could. Nobody to look after, so we've been slaves all our lives. My mother was a slave, my sister was a slave, father was a slave.
I would say that Fountain Hughes is not bitter about being a slave or being born into slavery, but he clearly would not choose that life.